Hello, everyone. Florida lawmakers have passed the Trump Act. The question is it going to be signed into law? In this video, we're going to take a look at the bill. We're also going to take a look at a brief memo that describes some of the provisions of the bill. And then we're going to talk about key takeaways, what's going to happen next. I am going to share my screen. We're going to take a look at the bill. Now, guys, this bill was passed by the Florida legislature on yesterday. The bill is over 80 pages. On Monday, we talked about the special session. And in that video, we discussed how the Florida legislature rejected Governor DeSantis's bill. And we're moving full speed ahead in enacting their own bill. Well, this is it, guys. Now, the bill was passed on yesterday. It's now before the governor. And it looks like the governor is not going to pass this bill. However, let's go over some provisions of the bill so that if it's vetoed, we'll have some idea of what provisions we could possibly see return. Now, number one, and actually before I dive in, this bill, the Trump Act that the Florida lawmakers have passed, this bill was in collaboration with the Trump administration. Here in this memo from the Senate President, Mr. Ben Albritton, it says that we made specific improvements to the Trump Act to further align state law. Now, they requested and received technical assistance from the Trump administration. So this bill called the Trump Act was in collaboration with the Trump administration. So let's go over just a few key pieces of what the bill provides for. So looking at number one, the bill now has a provision that if an illegal immigrant is convicted of a capital offense, including murder or rape of a child, the death penalty is mandatory. Moving on to number two, the Trump Act reclassifies criminal penalties when an illegal alien has been deported and then returns to the state of Florida and commits a crime. It also reclassifies criminal penalties for all illegal immigrants who commit crimes in the state of Florida. Going down to number three, the Trump Act also provides for provisions that would include if a criminal illegal immigrant who is a member of a gang commits a crime, they will receive the maximum sentence allowed for that crime. Going down to number four, policing transnational gangs. This provision allows for increased shared information or intelligence from the local law enforcement agencies to help ICE to enforce federal immigration law and police transnational criminal organizations. Number five, shoring up 287G agreements. This provision provides for increasing participation of local law enforcement agencies at the city level and county level to have agreements with ICE that would assist in detention, apprehension, and removal. Also, the Trump Act passed by Florida lawmakers makes several changes as it pertains to enforcement of the Real ID compliance. Now, Florida is already compliant with the Real ID Act. Guys, I'll discuss that in another video for you. But essentially, this Trump Act bill provides that, and it clarifies that the state of Florida's intent is to only accept Real ID compliant identification. And very quickly, lastly, guys, the lawmakers have set aside approximately $25 million have been appropriated in the bill for the purpose of implementing and enforcing and executing this law if it is passed. Now, I'm going to move on and share my screen. This is one of the latest articles that are reporting that despite Trump's involvement, Ron DeSantis expected to veto a Florida immigration bill. It goes on to read in this headline is that the Florida governor was locked in a contentious fight with Republican-dominated state legislature, which tried to strip away some of his authority on immigration. Now, let's talk about what are some of the the differences in the bill that the governor was proposing and what Florida lawmakers passed on last night. Well, a couple of differences. Number one, the bill that Governor DeSantis was proposing wanted to penalize law enforcement for not enforcing the provisions of his proposed bill. Number two is that the money transfer agencies, remember, guys, we talked about how in Governor DeSantis's bill, he wanted money transfer agencies to verify whether or not the sender of money overseas, whether they in fact were a lawful resident or were not, I should say, an illegal or non-citizen. It doesn't appear that the Florida lawmakers supported that based on the article we went over on Monday, where the president of the Senate said that he didn't like the big brother approach. Another huge difference between Florida lawmakers' bill that they passed entitled Trump Act and what Governor DeSantis was proposing is that under the Trump Act, Governor DeSantis is not the chief immigration officer for the state of Florida. That is placed within the Commissioner of Agriculture. And so those are some of the three key differences, which may be the reason why Governor DeSantis is not inclined to sign the bill into law. So what can we expect from here? Well, if Governor DeSantis vetoes the bill, it is more than likely that Florida lawmakers will propose another bill, or likewise, the governor himself can propose another bill. It is clear that both Florida lawmakers and Governor DeSantis definitely want an immigration bill passed for the state of Florida. Guys, as things continue to evolve, I will definitely provide you with the update. I do thank you for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.